Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of the Emergence Show, where we talk about the latest and greatest in emerging tech and immersive technologies. We have a very special guest today, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is virtual influencers. So we have Reggie Goff with us, and he has been creating various virtual avatars and characters. And especially one is Aba Wils that he's going to tell us more about. But before that, I would like to give a quick introduction of myself, the show, and then we go to Reggie, and then we start the show. So, I am a creative technologist. I have been doing this show for over 2 years now. My goal is to empower creators and brands in this new era of spatial computing. And especially fashion is very near and dear to my heart. I've been building fashion tech businesses, and I founded the Fashion DAO in the hope of empowering creators and to access this technology in an equitable way. And that's how I met Reggie, and we have been working together. So we are going to hear from him about his own, background and interests and passion, and then we dive into how he got into this space and what motivates him to build virtual influencers. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Nico. It's good to have you here. Good to have me on your show. I'm really excited. Okay, so anyway, I'm Reginald Goff. I'm Puma, and I go by Reggie Goff on social media. And I'm an immersive technologist, and I'm a digital fashion enthusiast. Also, into web development, network engineering, and other stuff. I'm also the creative mind behind such initiatives such as Digital Fashion Africa and Studio 3 Animation, and also the creator of Aba Wils, as you said earlier. And I also create, hyper realistic 3D characters and animation and virtual humans as well. And my passion for creating virtual characters or virtual influences, well, started way back. That was around 2018. I was a 3D animator, all right. I was creating, characters and stuff. So if I'll take us back, well, back in the days, I think around 2007, 2007, 2006, thereabouts, a friend of mine introduced me to an animation software. Then it was Posa. So it was very nice. And, growing up, I loved animation. I loved cartoons and all that. So it was very, very interesting. I started learning the software Posa, but somewhere along the line, I paused until 2015, 2016, when someone asked me a question which has to do with animation. It was one of my interns. He asked me the question and I told him, okay, so I'm going to show you how it's done. And I promised him, I said, next week, come to me again, and then I'm going to give you your answer. So I started learning again. That was when I came to, came in contact with these new softwares like the Revolution, Icon and stuff, which of course I know we'll talk about it later. Then I started creating 3D characters, putting them out there. And some people, when I started, some people say, okay, your characters look different. They look so real. And my focus was on creating a hyper realistic, 3D characters. So I started with that and I was creating these characters. I used to create a 3D character and myself, or maybe a dancer and a 3D character in a 3D environment doing a dance battle. So I really love that. And I was doing it. And I remember I was on Fiverr one day creating characters for people, and some people approached me for a project. So that was the enlightenment anyway. So they approached me for a project, they gave me a documentation, and then it was 2018. And they said, okay, so Reginald, we want you to create a character for us, a hyper realistic character. And they gave me all the specifications and everything and something to read about. So I read all about virtual influencers. I became very interested in them. And I said, wow, so this is kind of something that I'm doing. And that was that was when I also, I was introduced into this immersive technology stuff, the ARs and the VRs. Yeah, because I said, oh, so all along I was creating these characters, not knowing I was very close to something that I really love. So I learned more about it. I contacted them, and surprisingly, the guys, I don't know them anyway. They never showed up again. They only came. I think they only came to give me the idea, the latest trend. So I followed it out because it was my passion. I really loved it. And that was when I came up with my own idea of creating my own virtual influencer who happens now to be Africa's first.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah,
So basically, these virtual influencers are very much like human influencers. So they have all aspects of life, from like, culture, fashion, art. Some of them are even artists. And I think Aba Wils is an artist too. She dances and sings, similar to Makila, Lil Makila, which is very famous. And they also bring this, element of technology that is very important, especially resonates with the younger generation and tech savvy audience. So it's very interesting. And from the brand perspective, these virtual influencers seems to give them more control. And like the story that you mentioned,
yeah,
now brands can come to creators and ask for co-creating a persona, a character that best resonates with their messaging and
that's right.
goals that they have. And it's interesting because some people complain that virtual influencers may not be as authentic, but a lot of human influencers are not even as authentic.
Yeah,
We can argue about that later. But anyways, so it's very interesting. I want to show our audience a little bit about Aba Wils. I have the Instagram up, just to quickly share if our audience hasn't looked her up. We're going to show what Aba
mm,
Wils is. So
yeah.
tell us more about this character. What's her age? Where is she from? What does she do? Tell us more about the character.
Okay, so like we can see that's her, that's Abawos, that's her Instagram page. Abawos is she's just a normal girl. That's what I always tell people. Okay, so I'll start from, how we came up with the name Abawos, then to her personality. Okay, so when I created Abawos, I kind of I was looking for a name that would fit this character. And then it took us like I think 2 to 3 weeks or like in a month to get the name for Abawos. Let's say 2 weeks. So I one day I was speaking with a friend of mine after work when we were going home, and I said, okay, so can we get a name for this girl? So I've created this virtual girl, and I'm really, I mean, I need a name for her. And you know what he said? He said, okay, if you need a name for her, I think I can make a suggestion. I said, go ahead, feel free. He said, okay, let's call her Abba. I said, wow, why Abba? And now that's the question everyone asks. Why Abba? Okay, so Abba is a very simple name, A-B-A. And we said, okay, so we need a name which will resonate with the people and also a name that is very easy to pronounce wherever you are coming from. It doesn't matter your ethnicity or whatever. I mean, you should be able to pronounce Alba because in football we have Jordi Alba, which I mean Spanish, that's Alba. So some
Mhm.
people really call Abaos Alba because I mean they are used to that. And you know, in music we have Abba, and you know, even in religion we have something we say Abba. Sorry, Abba Father. So when he said, I said, wow, this sounds great. But when we say Aba in Africa, Aba is an African girl from Ghana here, up the central part of Ghana, where you say central region. So when you go to the central region, the central part of Ghana, the Aba is a name given to a Thursday child, a female child, a Thursday female child. It's called Abba. So it means a girl who was born on Thursday. So I said, wow, that really makes sense. So later, then I needed a surname for her. Then that was also, it was suggested by my brother. He said, oh, why don't we give this girl, I think we should give her the name Wilson. So I said, okay, I'm giving her the name Wilson. And for transparency's sake, I I didn't want to give her that kind of Wilson with the O, which sounds more human. So I said, okay, why not make it E, like Aba Wilson? So that's how come we came about with the name Aba Wilson. And then looking at her personality, Aba Wils is just like any other African girl. And Aba Wils has her
Oh,
attributes.
so you co-created the name and the character with people around you.
Yes, because after creating the character, I needed to get people's feedback because
Nice.
um, yeah, I may come up with a name which is so good to me, but what about the audience? What about the
Yeah,
people?
yeah. Co-creation is such an important factor, and we've talked about it. You know, as
Yeah,
I'm scrolling through the social media of Aba, we see she has, full-blown personality.
of
Even
course.
a lot of human influencers do not share as much about different aspects of their lives. Like I was listening
Mhm.
to, one great thought leader in the space of social media, and he was like, just focus on your niche. You're not supposed to show different aspects of your life. But I
That's
think
right.
that's what real authenticity comes in. That's where the real connection is established and the trust is established between us and the audience when we
That's right.
actually show different aspects of our lives.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I mean, if you look at this, you see that she goes to gym, she hangs out with friends,
Yeah,
she changes her hair color, she changes her outfits, she goes and, out in different locations. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of like basically creating a full blown character,
that's right.
an identity, and under different circumstances. So, that's really cool. So, are you working in a team or is it mostly you doing everything? How does the whole process look like?
Okay, so when it comes to the creation, well, I do it myself, and sometimes I co-create with people, like getting the name for her. That was what I did, and then with her outfits and stuff. Sometimes sometimes I do create it myself, and sometimes I get it from other the designers, as a collaboration. So I do also I do that as well, but mostly I do most of the things myself. Most of the things that
Awesome.
have to do with her, yeah, I do it myself.
Very cool. And have you done any brand partnerships? How does that look like? Or collaborating with, I see you have done organizations with breast cancer. How
Mhm.
does partnership look like with a virtual influencer from your experience?
Yeah, so when it comes to partnership and collaboration, well, it's something that's very interesting in the virtual influencer, scope. So now I think because at first, initially, it was something that's very new. So you had to talk about it to lots of people. You have to explain and explain and explain. But now people are really getting used to it. But those that were in the tech industry, for example, those in the fashion industry, well, they are very used to, avatars and digital characters and virtual influencers. So most of the collaborations that Aba Wils has done has been between her and other fashion brands, which of course is really cool. And one thing about Aba Wils is she's so passionate about, health. That's
Mm,
women's health, to be precise. So we started last year with Abaw's her manager as well. So we started plus some. When it comes to the management, it's not just me. I have other two or three people who help me with the management. So last year we came up with something to create a women's health awareness. So every month we do very well, either in the video format or in the pictorial format to, create awareness. So as even we can see on the screen, this was last year, February. So February is about the heart, cardiovascular. So on this day, it was Wear Red. I think just last Friday was Wear Red. Yeah, it was
mm-hmm.
Wear Red to support the women's heart. That's the health awareness, cardiovascular disease, which is like the number one killer for women. So we also promote that using ABBA walls. So I think it has been very, very effective. And seeing ABBA going to the gym, look at her body shape, her body type. You can only get this when you visit the gym, more regularly. And this is also to, to promote fitness in women, not just women, but also men. But it is the main aim is to promote
Yeah.
fitness. Yeah.
I like that it's not too idealistic. Like, she has curves, but it's not like perfect in a way that certain influencers, we don't want to name, but they are promoting it. So, yeah, I think, you're really finding a nice balance between, making it realistic and also like not too idealistic, but it's still promoting good behaviors and good causes. So that's really beautiful, and I love this diversity that you're showing here,
Wow.
from like different traditions and cultures. Like, I mean, these are really nice. Yeah, again, I think the level of diversity and the emotion that you're showing. So tell us more about the technology behind it and how you get to like really capture different poses, different emotions, and just different situations. So tell us more. What type of software do you use? Like,
Mhm.
what's the process? At least at high level, so our audience understands.
Yeah, okay. So when it comes to the technology or the technical aspects, there are several tools that one can use to create a virtual influencer. But the first part, if you want to do it yourself, you have to be a digital artist, an animator. And Aba Wils is a hyper realistic, virtual influencer. There are other different type of virtual influencers. There are other virtual influencers who are, 2D. There are others who are humanoid and so on and so forth. But concentrating on Aba Wils, Aba Wils was created using the Revolution softwares. So when I started, it was Revolution version 6. They had, migrated from the version 5 to the version 6. And it's so perfect. It's a very powerful tool that, I will recommend. If anyone wants to create a virtual influencer, you can go ahead and check on their website, Revolution. You can use their character creator to create the character. And then you can also use the icon when it comes to creating the motion. But with the motion part and the gestures and the expressions, mostly what I do is I don't only use the icon software, the Revolution software. Every time you need to have something that's, a software to, as a backup, I use Photoshop as well to, to edit the skin, the face and all that. I use other software, video softwares like the Premiere Pro, After Effects, just to achieve, something, just to make the video nice. And um, creating a virtual influencer also requires that you must have a story because virtual influencers are digital characters that has been given the first person view of the world. So we have to give them a story. They must come from somewhere. They must be interested in something. So you must come up
Mhm.
with all these things and find the technologies that will help you to achieve this. So there are some of these posts that I use AI to achieve when it comes to the motion, some of the motions I'll have to use AI to capture and then apply it to her. There are some that have to do it within the 3D animation software iClone. At times you have to export it to if you have the plugins and other stuff to work with, or if you are a meta human creator, you can always, I mean, export it. So at times I export it to other softwares to work on them. And one, something that's if you have an already created template for the motion, that is also an advantage. You can always buy some of the motions online, or you can create it yourself if you have the mockup suit. So one advantage is if you have the mockup suit, that is it goes to your advantage. And when it comes to the facial expressions, while giving her expressions, it's either you do it manually, which of course is not so easy to do, or you can do it using the live face. Now the technology has gone far, so you can just get live face from iPhone. But one advice that I will give to our audience is if you want to create a virtual influencer with audience and you're going in for the iPhone, make sure you buy from iPhone X upwards because anything below iPhone X will not work for that. So you need either iPhone X or an upgraded version of the iPhone. So you connect it using the plugin. Then whatever facial expressions that you make, your character will mimic. So that's one of the ways that we get to I get to create emotions and expressions by using these technologies. And now AI plays, I mean, a very vital role in this. and
Okay,
hello.
tell us about the audio. Is there any of these that has audio? How do you create the audio for it?
Yes. Okay. So there's one that has audio. So there are two ways. So when Aba Wils goes live, Aba Wils has started, doing, live videos. So when she goes live, that is the help of AI. We have AI. We've used AI to program her voice. So if she's going live, it doesn't matter who is behind her. We will still get that voice. And for the pre-recorded videos, there's a news. So I have a news who does, Abawos's voice when we want to do a pre-recorded video. So in one of the videos, you see Abawos interviewing a doctor. That is a medical doctor, Dr. Amankwa, a medical doctor, the CEO of Ridge Medical Center, Accra, Ghana. They did,
Hmm.
yeah, and it was very, educative and insightful. Where they talked about
So
fibroid.
nice. So is it something that you guys have to be behind it, or have you tried like incorporating like ChatGPT or other AI kind of brains too?
Yeah, I have. So one of the things is, for example, when it comes to some of the things that she will say, when it comes to her knowledge, it's solely or mostly based on the chat GTP. That is, some of these AI tools. I use it more often to achieve a lot. For example, what she's going to say. And there's a video here that's a song that talks about Abawos. It introduces Abawos. Everything was done using AI. The,
Hmm.
the lyrics, the voice, the vocals, everything, instrumentation, and everything was AI.
So like you have a custom GPT that you worked with, or is it the general ChatGPT? I
Yeah,
guess custom makes more sense because you can give the past information and tell it what you specifically want to do. Very cool. So for the audio, you have picked a specific voice, and it will always be the voice no matter who is behind it, right?
yes, that is it. That is so.
Very
And
cool.
one other
Awesome.
software I would
Yeah.
recommend, sorry, one other software that I would recommend is a free software. We could always go ahead and use it. It's Audacity. It has been very helpful
For what?
for sound, for audio.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, in recording the audio, Audacity, I would recommend it. It's a free software. And it has cool and lots of plugins, and I would recommend that as well.
Awesome. Thank you. And I noticed like as I was scrolling towards the beginning, that this character has aged, which is interesting. So do virtual influencers age? It's funny because I was looking at Lil Miquela, and apparently she's still 19. So how old is Abba, and how do you decide how she ages?
Okay, so Aba Wils is 23. I always say she's a girl in her early 20s, and she has been 23 since 20 since
They have
2019.
a virtual avatar age format.
Yeah,
Very
so one interesting thing about virtual influencers is you can decide not to make them age. And if I want Abawos to grow, if we want her to grow, maybe in the next 10 years, 15 years, we can always make her grow. But one of the things that we do is when you look at her pictures, even from this time, what we're seeing on the screen till now, you will see several improvements. What I do now is added more features to Abawos. At first, she never had any wrinkles, but now she has wrinkles.
yeah, I noticed actually. I see that I see that hollows around her eyes and stuff.
Right.
So
Yes.
she's actually getting older.
Yes.
So makes it more natural, and I can see the wrinkles like you said, and just like the loss of fat, which these are all like just normal human
That's
um,
right.
reaction. But yeah, again, that's why I like that your approach, that you're striking a really good balance between reality and having a virtual characters, which is still believable, which is not too idealistic. And yeah, I mean, a lot of human influencers are just artificial. So you're making it really good. Awesome, very cool.
Oh,
So, kind of, what are your goals? So you seems like you're making using this platform and this character to make a positive impact in the world. Tell us, like, what is the vision of this character? Where is this all going? Kind of, what's next?
yeah. Okay. So there's a lot coming up. Aba Wils here. It's a girl, like I said earlier, who is she has these attributes. She's into fitness. She loves music. She loves dancing, and
Mm-hmm.
she loves to promote women's health. So that's it about her. And one of the things is to promote credence or build credence in women, and she loves fashion as well. So as part of our future projections, last year in our interview we said, okay, so we want this year we want Abawos to be able to interact or communicate live with her audience, and to start a show. To start a show, which of course probably by end of this month or in the middle of this month, we should start the Aba Wils show, where Aba Wils will, for now, what we're doing now, for now with our technology, we're only going to show the head or the bust, where she will be interviewing people, experts. For example, we would by all means, we would interview an expert like you, where you talk about fashion for just to educate, for education, for people to know what the digital fashion is about. So one is for education, and some people are really, really in love with virtual influencers, and they really listen to them because of their positive impact. So we want to create a positive impact in not just our community, but in the world, for people to also, embrace the future, because this is the future. And to also create sensitization, awareness about health, not just health, to also create campaigns, support, and all that. So that is the main focus for Aba Wils. So this year we're looking at doing, shows, interviewing people. People are going to have this real time interaction with Aba Wils. So we are only starting with the head, but when we get more fans, more support and stuff, it's all about getting more fans, getting more support to buy the tools. The tools being used for this, getting a virtual influencer, it comes with a cost. So you need to really plan and get these, tools. So you will be able to achieve. Very soon about will be interacting with people, just like we've seen with Lil Michaela and the other, pop virtual influencers. And I have to mention this. So um Aba Wils has a song. She did a song with another virtual DJ. That was in 2022. So it's on Spotify. Yeah, people can really, go and check it out. That is again. So this year, by the end of this year, we are looking at releasing another track.
That's amazing. Very
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I mean, I think moving forward, you should do a lot more brand partnerships,
that's right.
like Lil Michaela did with different other influencers or celebrities or brands. And so, tell us about the impact, or kind of the response that you received in Africa. You said this was the first ever virtual
Mm.
influencer coming out of Africa. So, how has this been perceived in Africa? What have you seen? Is most of the support I'm following in Africa, or is it other parts of the world?
Okay, so it was initially at the initial stages, it was very challenging, because it was something new. So when you post it out there, people end up, oh, so what is this? Is it a cartoon? Oh, wow, is it real? So people end up asking so many questions. So then I said, wow, then I have to take this opportunity to, really educate people about, this. So, and it really involves a lot. I had to learn for myself and for the people. So gradually, they began to understand the concept of the virtual influencer. So what I used to do was, from time to time, I'll be posting on my stories and, on my WhatsApp as well, and people will be interacting with me. And I was even using Abawos to, educate people. There was this kind of sensitization. And our first, collaboration was with a brand. I've forgotten their name. I think it was a fruit juice or something. That was we made a post on that. Yeah, that was during the initial stages. They understood the concept, and they wanted to do a collaboration with Aba Wils, and we did it. And then people, became so interested, and they started following Aba Wils. Initially, it wasn't Africans who were following Aba Wils, but now I can say we have lots and lots of people following Aba Wils. And when we get to the success stories, I don't know, but when we get to the success stories, I'll tell you some of her, some of the success stories now.
Yeah,
Because it
tell
was
us. I would love to hear some. What are the success stories?
okay, so now Aba Wils has collaborated with, with brands, with virtual brands, with digital brands, with I mean real brands promoting their outfits and stuff. And one amazing thing is one day I was just in my inbox, doing the normal thing, and then we received a message that, wow, congratulations, you've been nominated for an award. I said, wow. So I just sent them a message. I said, say, so are you going to award a virtual character? He said, yes, because she is doing everything. The impact, it's so much. So in let me say in a month, Aba Wils had like 3, 4 nominations.
Wow.
And starting from 2022 December, Aba Wils won her first award as Africa's, I think Africa's Supreme Innovation of the Year. She
Wow.
won. She won, and Aba Wils was competing with real humans. It's so amazing. So I said, do they really understand this? And then later we received another nomination to say, congratulations, you've received a nomination for this. When we checked, and Aba Wils won her second award, and she has, citations as well. And
Wow.
it's I think now she has about 4 to 5 awards to her credits as a virtual influencer. And in Ghana here, a fashion brand during their how do you call it, during their fashion show, they invited Aba Wils as their special guest, and they posted,
Wow.
and we had like three brands inviting her as a special guest. Yeah. So
That's
this
amazing.
makes me this makes me feel the connection. So I said, wow, people are really, really understanding this concept. Unlike before, when people will be asking you, so who is she? Okay, so I'll tell them the virtual influencer is this, and that. Okay, so I know. So who is behind her? I'll say, okay, A, B, C, D. They say, okay, we want to see the real person. And it was,
Yeah, the perception has definitely shifted, but it's also a testament to the great work that you have put in and your team.
wow,
It wouldn't be possible. I don't think all these awards will just be given to anyone. You have definitely done a great job. With what we just saw so far.
thank
The
you.
great balance between reality and kind of something that is not real, but it strives to be real,
Real,
and authenticity, and kind of having all the balances in place. Even in terms of aging, you're
yeah,
not creating something that is not ideal, not realistic. So that's all great. And how did other contestants feel, like if a human is being compared to a virtual character? Are they also understanding that this is totally normal? Because even behind this virtual character, there is a human, right?
human, yes. So initially, I think on the first award, someone made a comment. So asking them how they pick their winners and all that, they said, no, it's not just about, I mean, it's all about what you do and your reach and the way people are responding to that. So they really wanted to see her. So most of the time I'll go, or one of my teams will just go and pick it up on behalf of Aba Wils. They will approach me. So where's Aba Wils? We want to see her. I said, oh, Aba Wils is a virtual girl. You can only see her on your screen and say, oh, wow. So we want to take pictures with her. So you can see even in her posts, she has pictures with some people. It was their request. I even had Aba Wils look alike. So my cousin sent me a picture. He said, look at this girl. She really looks like Aba Wils. So they have a picture together as well. So now people are beginning to, love her. At times when I go to some places, they'll call me Mr. Aba Wils. And, and it's kind of funny. They really wanted to see her. Now they know it's a virtual character. They said, wow, then she's really doing well because she's really making the impact. And even myself, just last year I think I had like 5 awards to my credit, and most of these awards is because of Aba Wils. Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
it's been, yeah, even this image here, the one in the violet, she attended a pageant show, and the picture So what happened was, yes, this is the video, and there's a picture there. So yeah, that's her, in her nice outfit. She was a
Hmm.
special guest. So what happened was, that's the picture. The one down there was a picture. Okay, so the guy interviewing Aba Wils. Then there's a picture. So it was very funny. What happened was, when I went there, there was the red carpet, and there was no one standing in the red carpet, but I was busy with my phone, just trying to take a picture of someone. And people were just looking at me. They said, no, let's go and find out what this dude is doing. So when they got behind my camera, I saw people behind me. When they got there, they realized, no, there's someone in the camera. But when we look at the red carpet, there's no one here. So what's happening? So right after that, I had to explain this technology. And oh, this is augmented reality. So you are not seeing her here, but on my phone, by the means of augmented reality technology, I can see her in my phone. So I can take a picture of her now. I say, oh wow, this is nice. So can we take a picture with her? I said, yes, you can do that. So you can see a photo of that. I mean, yeah, it also introduces people to these new, immersive technologies and stuff. So I always take the opportunity to educate people.
Yeah, it's like you and Abba and all these characters are ambassadors of, this emerging tech and showing us what's possible. And, for those who, still are struggling with this, I think this is just another brand.
Yeah,
So, Reggie has created this brand, this is story, and, this is a character persona that is the face of this brand. And this is nothing new. This has already always existed in, TVs and movies and,
right.
books and like, and then we had social media. So none of that is really different from what we're used to. It's just the technology enables us to simulate stuff to this level of reality, which is
Right.
amazing.
Very, very
Very
amazing.
cool. Amazing. So tell us a little bit now about the challenges. I mean, we kind of touched on it in terms of how people are still trying to figure it out and there's some sort of pushback. But what are some of the other challenges that you or others in this space are facing right now in terms of virtual influencers?
Yeah, okay. So some of the challenges, has to do with getting the right, resource, like as I mentioned earlier, the tools to, to work with, to get this perfectly, to do it well. I mean, it comes with a price. You need some of the challenges because, I had about three i7 computers, but I had to discard them. Or it was a very good machine, but for a different purpose. So if you really want to give a very good render, because sometimes most of these videos we do render, I do render them in 4K. So for you to
Mhm.
get this, you need a very powerful machine. You need very, very, very powerful machine. So
Yeah.
you need to, yeah. So it's really a challenge. Now I have a very good, Predator machine here, a gaming machine that I'm using, which renders so fast. Else, it will take like a day or two to just render a minute, just 1 minute video. And that is a challenge, not just to me, but also to other creators as well. And getting also other resources like the mockup, suit, getting the softwares and all that. I mean, it's really a challenge, but I mean, we are coping, because we must get things done. And at times you have an idea and you can do this, but you really need this to work with. And it becomes a challenge. But as technology evolves and it progresses, all these are going to be very easy to get with time. That's what I believe.
Yeah, technology limitations are real in terms of like processing power and the cost of equipment and everything. But as you said, everything is going to get better over time. Very
Yes.
cool. And have you partnered or collaborated with other virtual influencers too? And how have you seen things different in terms of like how other virtual influencers are executing?
Okay, so yes, I have. Bowels has collaborated with some virtual influencers, and there's one coming up probably next week with
Nice.
I think world's first tech influencer from Sri Lanka. We had a meeting last week, and we're working on a collaboration. It's really going to be nice, and I think she has collaborated with another influencer from Brazil, and there are other influencers. That was last year, last 2 years. And like I mentioned earlier, she collaborated with a virtual DJ, Ricky Levy, and they released the Again song, which happens to be, her debut song. So the collaboration with, humans and collaboration with other virtual influencers has been a very good one. And we are still looking, we're still looking forward for more. There's gonna be more collaborations, not just with virtual influencers, but also with other brands as well. And I remember I think I have to mention this as well. I remember we had a collaboration with Netizens, which was a very good one, I must say. And Mercury, Dasha, and we had one with I've forgotten their names. There's a lot.
Wow, amazing. So that's great. So as we can see is that you're pretty much doing as level of collaborations as a human influencers, if not more. And the team behind will definitely support kind of like a human influencer. So that's really cool. Awesome. So what kind of like next steps in terms of technology? So you already have AI somewhat incorporated. Do you think like there are other elements that kind of technologically you want to improve? Probably reduce your workload. Is there any way that you don't have to like create every scene and kind of use generative AI for it? Kind of have you looked into ways to make this process more seamless?
Yeah, yeah, especially with the motion capture. Yeah, because I think we have to upgrade using the a very advanced mockup tool, which makes it very, you know, easy. Because as part of the project, or as part of things that we want to do in the future, by the end of this year, we want Aba Wils to be able to, you know, just to talk with people, to make videos with people, to be even featured in, in music videos, or even in movies. And for us to achieve this, we really need to, get some of these things up. So one is to get a very advanced motion capture suite. And I always love to upgrade. I don't mind even if my systems is just a month old, and there's something better. So we're also looking at upgrading the systems and all that. And technology now with the metaverse, things are really speeding up. And one of the things that we did recently was we made Aba Wils' first video in VR 360.
Yeah.
This, yeah, and it was, so even when I tested it, it was really great. It was like she was standing right in front of me, and it was the experience is really good. So we're gonna make more of such videos. We're gonna collaborate with other, metaverse.
You want to share your screen and show us that? I think that's really fascinating. The whole house and everything.
Okay,
When you showed me, that was really cool. So
yeah,
if you want to share your screen, that would be amazing. And for our audience, you can definitely communicate with us in the comment section if there's any questions or comments you have for Reggie and Abba. We would love to hear it. This is a fascinating topic. Virtual influencers are everywhere now, and they're super successful. Some are more successful than humans influencers, and they're not going anywhere. This is just another way of expressing an identity, a brand, a story, and a character. So we're very fortunate to see a good example of this. As we discussed, Reggie and his team have done a really good job, striking a good balance between reality and virtual reality to make this believable. Awesome. So, are you okay? Let me bring that to the stage. We're gonna see this. Very beautiful.
Yeah, okay, so as you can see, this is now in the VR.
So if we were wearing a headset, we could walk around the room and be in the
That's
room
right.
with her.
Yes, you
Wow,
can be in the room, sit, relax, and watch her. You can just, I mean, you'll see every detail in the room.
that's really
The
cool. So
video
what
is going to be.
software was this made in?
This was made in the revolutionizing clone.
Also same. Okay, very cool. And you see her picture,
That's
pretty much her home.
so you can see she's reading a book. She reads a book. I mean, about fashion. You see,
Nice, nice.
yeah,
Yeah, again, another story and everything around it.
yeah, and right in front of her TV, you see some of her awards.
Oh wow,
So we have,
beautiful.
yeah, so we have this video in the VR environment, and then what I talked
In
about
a
is
digital
this,
world
the music
where
behind,
passions
fully
ignite,
destroyed.
Aba Wils emerge a shining
So
light.
this is the story of Aba Wils.
Africa's first virtual influencer debuting sprung on that January night. Fashion, music, dance in her soul, fitness making her whole. Women's health, a cause she holds, empowering hearts. The story unfolds, Aba Wils, a style so true. Her outfits shine like morning dew, a digital star so
Amazing.
bright.
Yeah,
Thank you for that. That was great.
yeah,
Wow. So you're definitely touching on music, you're touching on fashion, you're touching on women's health,
that's
you're
right.
touching on, health in general, general health and wellness. So these
That's
are all amazing. Okay, cool. So in terms of like, for our audience, if they want to be in this journey with you, collaborate with you, co-create with you, how can they get in touch? And kind of like what are the ways that you're open to collaboration?
okay. So now I'm open for collaboration in any way. So and I can be contacted on my on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as Reginald Goff Ampuma, and I'm on Instagram as Reginald Goff. Or they can just easily Google my name on. I mean, then it will just appear Reginald Goff Ampuma. I have all my social handles, and I have my website. Well, the website is not fully built now. But I mean, you can get access to all my social network, which is goffreggie.com, GOFFREGGIE.com. So they can just get in touch with me, or they can get in touch with me through Aba Wils by visiting her page. Aba Wils is on TikTok, Aba Wils is on YouTube, Aba Wils is on Twitter, she's on that, sorry, X, Aba Wils is on Facebook, on Instagram. Yeah, and very soon
Amazing.
to be on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Awesome. And I want to show our audience about kind of this website that I came across called virtualhumans.org.
Excellent.
Um, that's very interesting. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a community of virtual influencers.
Influencers, yeah. They
I
have
saw
a
Aba
database,
Wils has a profile. I know a lot of these folks.
right?
Nobody's message is very cute. I
Yeah,
follow her, him, them.
yeah.
Um, some of them are not.
Actually,
Which one is your favorite?
oh, that's Lil Michaela. Yeah, actually, for Lil Michaela and Shudu. So the reason is the first documentation I had about virtual influencers was about and Shudu. Around that time, 2018, according to virtualhumans.org, there were about 16 virtual influencers worldwide. So they were not much. But now we have over 200 virtual influencers.
Yeah, I mean, this one is Alexis Ohanian's daughter's character.
Kai Kai.
And yeah, I mean, they're really cool characters. And I mean, again, this is not a new topic, guys. Like, animes, characters, all this existed for so long.
That's right.
Um, This kind of looks like the Nobody Says So,
Nobody says it.
but
Have lots of
maybe
followers.
it's the girlfriend of the Nobody Says It. But
Whoa!
yeah, these are really cool. Kaida, this is from Carly Kalas,
Wow.
a great influencer and model. So yeah, I mean, very many of the human celebrities or influencers
That's
have
right.
created an influencer that is kind of like them or with them, or virtual company.
That's right.
So it's again it has so many different meanings. It's all about how you come up with the story,
That's right.
and as we can see, there's so many different ways you can create these characters too. They can be very realistic, or they can be
Yep.
not so realistic and
Very.
cartoonish,
That's right.
or very fun. What else would you like to tell us, Reggie? Depending on, oh, Geico, come
Yeah.
on.
Michael. That cute lizard.
I mean, I didn't know Geico's character has a full profile, but that makes sense. But again, guys, you see, like, and the brands that we already well know about, their kind of a character is now part of the
You
virtual
know, okay.
influencers community. Yemi, my dear friend, says, just want to say a huge well done to Reggie for building virtual influence for such a noble purpose to create more awareness of women's health, which actually could do with more attention. And I love how interactive Aba Wils is on her IG page, very responsive, very personable. Whoever handles her social interaction is doing a great job in humanizing her. Yes, absolutely. I think Reggie is definitely a big reason, and that's why he deserves all the rewards that
Oh,
he's
thank
getting. And
you.
hopefully, this is just the beginning. We
That's
appreciate you, Yemi, for sharing your thoughts. And yes, totally agree. This space is really cool, and it's just almost the
cool.
beginning of it. So,
You.
similar to other, virtual possibilities, this
That's
is a
right.
space that we should be all getting into. And this is Shudu that you were talking about.
That's hair. That's
Tell
Shudu.
us more about Shudu.
Also, Shudu has really been, an inspiration for Aba Wils, and I mean, I have to say they are friends. Though they, most of the time, they
Influencer for influencer.
yeah, they are friends and they really chat a lot. So you can see on Shudu's page, Abawos will go and comment, and Shudu will as well come and comment on Abawos' page. And the creator of,
Nice.
you know, Shudu, he's also doing well, Cameron. It's a very nice person as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
very
And then
cool.
very soon, we're going to see a collaboration with Abawos and Chops, which will
Wow.
be up the Abawos and Chops, another virtual influencer is doing so. And this website, the Virtual Humans, has really helped a lot because I mean, I used to read from not I used to, I still read from virtualhumans.org. It was I think Christopher Travis used to interview, virtual influencers. So I was following that all the time. And then they once had a grocery, the definitions and terminologies, new terminologies for virtual influencers. So I used it and I was posting it everywhere for people to understand. Example, there are other terminologies like digital, like digital twins, digital double and all that. So I'll pick some of the technologies, I'll post it on my, social handles, and people will be asking questions about it. Then I'll be, educating them more. So even through
It's
the
kind of
creation
like
of
a Wikipedia for
yeah,
for it's a Wikipedia for virtual influencers. I
influencers,
mean,
yes, yes,
very
yes.
cool, very
And there's
cool.
one other page on Facebook about virtual human. That's the virtual beings being managed by Marcus.
Hmm.
Yeah,
If you
he
want to put the link in the chat, or I can share it afterwards, I think that would be helpful for our audience. But yeah, I mean, these are like just some examples. I really want to give perspective
Mhm.
to our audience in terms of, we zoomed in to Aba Wils and what Reggie has accomplished. But as you guys can see, there is a wide spectrum of what these influences can be or come from. And really there is no limitation. Some of them are created with the metahumans and Unreal Engine. Some of them are created with other tools, but they all are, very personable, and they already have accomplished a great following. Oh wow, this is Vinci, our
Yeah,
lovely friend.
you're
Yes,
so
shut
great.
up. Yes. This is like amazing. I love it. And you know, and as we're getting to this spatial computing and metaverse, and that becomes more immersed with our lives, we are all gonna have our virtual
That's
character.
right. That's right.
So, and we may have more than one, and that is totally fine as we express ourselves in different environments. So that makes total sense. Really, really cool stuff. And
Okay.
again, thank you so much, Reggie, for being here with us and talking about this. And to our audience, thank you for being with us. If you have more questions or comments, feel free to put in the chat. Me and Reggie are happy to respond to it. And, this is just the beginning of our collaborations as well. I would love to interview Aba in a different
Yeah,
uh, episode. I think that would be fun. Me and my team have
he's ready.
discussed potentially having a character virtual influencer as part of our show too.
Wow.
So I would love to talk more and collaborate more with you and others. So this is really fascinating. I'm all about incorporating more technology into everything we're doing and more creative technology. So thank you for that, Reggie. Are there
Thank
any
you.
final closing notes that you want to share with us?
Okay, so I spoke about Aba Wils a lot, and yeah, one thing I want to add, and the last one is virtual. This is what I always get. They say, "Oh, are they going to take our jobs?" No, virtual influencers are not going to take anybody's job, but they are going to work hand in hand with humans, and that's how it's going to look like. It's just a technological advancement, something that is to help us. There's that we say virtual influencer, there's no limitation, but well, there is because, for example, if you want to do an ad for a body lotion, which of course a virtual influencer can do it very well, but they cannot apply it on their skin. But a human can apply it on their skin. So in that way, you can say they can collaborate. So they are going to work hand in hand with humans, and human beings cannot be in different places at the same time, but virtual influencers can. So this is how it's going to be. They are going to work hand in hand. And if you want to create, your virtual influencer, well, it is very good. You create your virtual influencer. And for brands also, it is very good and advisable to create your virtual influencers. And, we are here for you. You can
Mm-hmm.
contact me anytime. I can create a virtual influencer for you. If you want to do it yourself too, you can just get in touch. Well, and there's a video I would like to share. The last one. Okay, so there's a video here that is a digital double of myself. So,
Oh,
um,
wow.
yeah.
So
So
that's not your real you.
yes, that's not the real me. This is the digital me. So see what
Wow,
I'm doing here. Yeah,
awesome. Very cool.
I'm usually
And
in
that was
glasses.
not done with a suit or anything. This is actually like a CGI
That's right.
generated.
That's
Very
right.
cool.
That's right. And all this was done in iClone as well. So
Wow. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like these characters could be totally looking like us, like when we step into the metaverse, or could be totally different, gender, age, and everything.
yeah,
Um, we all have so many aspects to who we are. So,
yeah.
or we could be, creating a character that we would love to develop. But I appreciate you, Reggie. This is amazing. Everything you shared was very informative and educational and giving us all a perspective. I appreciate you and I appreciate our audience. I also want to mention that I recently launched my newsletter on LinkedIn. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for our audience to see. This
Great.
is the Emergence newsletter. I also launched the Fashion Down newsletter. So the Emergence newsletter is more about general tech, AI, spatial computing, and some retail tech. And then the Fashion Down newsletter is more specific to retail tech innovations, and we talk about our show and other collaborations with creators. So I encourage everyone to join our newsletter, subscribe to our Emergence show and newsletter, and collaborate and co create with us. So I would love to have you all on the show. I would love to have different content created together. So this is all a co creation that we're all doing together. And please make sure to follow Reggie and Aba Wils on different platforms. They're amazing and they're just getting started. Let's build this beautiful future together. Thank you again, everyone, and have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you
care.
so much. Okay. Bye.
Bye.